a word from Pragya, who's joining us live this morning. Pragya, good morning. How will the House be synced to the General Assembly elections as far as when it comes to the synchronization seems to be the key here when it comes to the Lok Sabha simultaneously happening with the state assemblies across?
Amita, you are absolutely right. Synchronizing is the key word. There are some articles that have been introduced and inserted in the amendment bill. In fact, there is an amendment to the constitution that the parliament will be moving when this bill is being tabled. We are given to understand this bill is coming on Monday and it will be introduced and is likely to be sent to JPC for more consultation. Because you need two-thirds of majority for few amendments, you need 50% of the state on your side. So the government is also in the process of acquiring, accent of various parties, and the process has been going on for quite some time now. But we are given to understand that both Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies will be synchronized in terms of 5 years, respective of the first meeting. And this is, the standard would be the general election, House of People. If it is dissolved in between, then only the terms, if there is a fresh election, then the new government will continue only to the term of the previous election. So there is no discontinuation. There is a systematic synchronization between the Lok Sabha and Assembly election, and so is the case for the Assembly election, I would say, because, there is also a clause insertion of Article 82A, which means that the President, by the public notification, will bring into force the provision of this particular amendment bill. So the power has been given to President also to announce at a suitable date wherever she would, wherever the President deems fit to bring in this particular notification into implementation. Then there is a clause about the term of legislative assemblies also. In any general election held after appointed date and before the expiry of the full term of the parliament, there should be the term of all legislative assemblies will be fixed according to that. If there is a legislative assembly that is going to the polls after the general election, the elections can be conducted at the time of the general election, and for that you need assent of all the state governments as well. But President, by virtue of putting a provision and also issuing a notification, can give an effect to that. Also, there is a role of election commission, where election commission shall conduct general elections for the parliament general election and also for the legislative assembly simultaneously with the necessary modification. They also have to be prepared, and they will be prepared for that. There is also a clause for the deferred election, but I would say the most interesting would be the Article 82, which has been inserted, because the President will be given, has been given a power for issuing a public notification. Also, this would mean that the simultaneous election is going to be a reality as soon as this bill is passed by both houses of the parliament.
We are expecting this to happen in the ongoing winter session, but Pragya, more importantly, when it comes to the technicalities that are involved, because previously, whether be it in the 1950s or by 1967, the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections were held simultaneously. How was this when it comes to that cycle that was disrupted due to midterm elections, and when it comes to such disruptions that led to the imposition of the Model Code of Conduct, which according to the government it hampers governance and development? How that such kind of a situation, Pragya, be avoided?
So basically, there is also provision, remember high-level committee that was led by former President Mr. Ramnath Kovind. They prepared a very heavy document of 18,000 pages. The report was submitted, and this bill has taken on leave from that particular report very heavily. And in fact, it is on the suggestion of that particular commission that this bill has been prepared. The draft has been prepared. So, when there is a disruption, when there is a break, when there is no confidence motion, when assembly gets dissolved, it will continue till the term of till its end term. The fresh government that will come into force will only be continuing till the end of that term, irrespective, whether it is a fresh election or not. This will synchronize the elections with the Lok Sabha election, because you cannot change the date of Lok Sabha election, and you just have to adjust, assemblies vis-a-vis the parliament election. So even if there is a case with the Lok Sabha election also similarly, if it gets dissolved midway, then it is the election that will be held will be called midterm election and not full election. So they will continue till the end of the term, and then there will be fresh elections after that. which is a very, very rare sort of possibility as far as parliament elections are concerned. So
All
there
right.
is a systematic way of doing it. The
So
government
as far as several amendments that need to be happened as far as to bring upon this bill as to a reality which is now concerned of holding simultaneous elections when it comes to the cabinet hearing a one nation one bill, one election bill to be introduced on the 16th of December. As far as now the Union Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal is expected now to introduce the bill. However, when it comes to, as Pragya was pointing out, as the BJP-led NDA government at the centre decided to move forward with the one nation one poll plan, the Union Cabinet accepting the recommendations from the high-level committee led by former President Ramnath Kovind, which has proposed that the Lok Sabha Assembly elections be held together with municipal Panchayat elections following within in a phased manner. However, when it comes to, Pragya, recommending a single electoral roll or the electoral photo identity is also something that is said to be a part of the recommendations that have been made now that we are getting to know that the bill is all likely to be introduced on Monday.
You are absolutely right, and in fact, I would say that the Election Commission was of the opinion that election to any of the legislative assembly cannot be conducted along with general election. If that is the case, in fact, there is a provision for that. They can go to the president and declare by the order that the election to the legislative assembly may be conducted later. So it's not hard and fast rule, but they would try to synchronize every election. But they have also the power lies with the president also to issue any any sort of public notification and try to synchronize these. Now electoral roll is also one of the, because delimitation, electoral roll are two things that this bill is also focusing on and ensuring that there is one electoral roll. People will go and vote for both a parliament and assembly as well. So both the things have been taken into consideration. This is going to be deliberated upon in the parliament. For now, it is going to be introduced. And what we are hearing from our sources that it is very likely, because there are many political parties which are against this particular bill. And they would like it to be referred to Joint Parliamentary Committee. And government is in no hurry. Remember, government believes that there should be ample consideration, deliberation on any of important bill, because government also needs the state governments on which are ruled by the Congress and or other parties, regional parties, on board for that. But majority of the consensus has been garnered by the government. This is a big feat that it has achieved, and it is still in process of acquiring more consensus on this particular bill, so that at least the expenses and also the time that has been spent on elections.
Comprehensive and a lengthy process that the government would be undertaken to actually bring this idea into exercise and execution. What the Prime Minister has often said of talking about the governance model, as far as saying that the country continues to be virtually in a mode of constant election season, and just to avoid that, this would be, when it comes to beneficial to many sectors, to hold simultaneous elections. As Pragya was pointed out, and when it comes to the cabinet hearing the bill of one nation, one election, how it is expected now to be presented in the ongoing winter session of Parliament, there are voices already from the opposition side that has been raised against it. Let's get in a word from Mr. Udit Raj of the Congress Party, who is joining us. Good morning to you, Mr. Udit Raj. What do you make as far as when it comes to the introduction of this bill of one nation, one poll that is likely to be introduced coming Monday by the government?
We will oppose it. We are opposing it. It's against the federal structure of the Constitution. It is marched towards unitary Constitution. Our Constitution is not unitary. And it will subvert regional voices, regional aspirations, and local issues will also be relegated. And it's against the spirit of present Constitution and march towards the dictatorship. So we are opposing it.
All right, you're opposing it as part of the Congress party there. Thank you very much, Mr. Udit Raj, for your point of view. As we play out how the opposition have been reacting completely, because when this panel was formed on part of the former president leading it, even when it comes to opposition parties and their inputs were taken into consideration, while multiple NDA-led parties had agreed to it, while others forming the India bloc had denounced it, calling it as undemocratic and contrary to the principles of federalism. Here's how the opposition bloc has been reacting.
हम वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन के प्रस्ताव के खिलाफ हैं, क्योंकि ये गैर लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ है, गैर संवैधानिक है और ये संविधान का बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर जो मूल ढांचा है उसके खिलाफ है, पर लोकतंत्र के खिलाफ है। लोकतंत्र को खत्म करने वाला एक विधेयक है।
ममता बनर्जी हमारा लीडर, इसके पहले ही हमारा जो स्टैंड है वो क्लियर कर दिया था। तो इस देश में ये पॉसिबल नहीं है। वो गारंटी कौन देगा कि एक बार वोट देने से पूरा 5 इयर्स टर्म पूरा करेगा? कैसे होगा?
देखिए, ये आना चाहिए। जैसे आप उड़ीसा में देखिए, एक साथ चुनाव हुए और आपको बार बार चुनाव में जाना नहीं है, लेकिन हमारा प्रदेश में वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन नहीं है। अभी हमने लोकसभा चुनाव किए, दोबारा अभी विधानसभा चुनाव करना पड़ता है, और जो साल भी आप लोकसभा या विधानसभा चुनाव करते हैं, लगभग पूरा साल में कुछ डेवलपमेंट का काम नहीं होते हैं।
इससे क्योंकि पैसे का भी बहुत ज्यादा मात्रा में दुरुपयोग होता था, वेस्टेज होती थी, विकास की गति रुकती थी, और विकास की गति इसलिए रुकती थी क्योंकि हर 3-4 महीने के बाद कहीं न कहीं चुनाव होते थे।
Well, the opposition has been contending that imposing synchronized election erodes democratic choice of forcing an artificial electoral cycle and also limiting the freedom of voters. But talking about the parliament today, because today also is important. Yes, it's a Saturday and the Lok Sabha is functioning, as today Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be replying to the two-day debate on the constitution in the Lok Sabha, the lower house. With the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha too, Rahul Gandhi, who is expected to line up and leading to the grand finale, as day one yesterday of the debate saw fiery speeches from both sides and disruptions were minimal. However, the phase ended when it comes to the TMC MP Mahua Moitra making a reference to Judge Loya's death. Now, participating in the debate on the 75 years of the Indian Constitution, she made a passing but a contentious remark on Judge Loya's death while attacking the BJP for allegedly targeting institutions and the opposition leaders, silencing critical voices.
Honorable Defence Minister in a speech this morning mentioned the courage of the late Justice H.R. Khanna to dissent in 1976. May I remind everyone that Justice Khanna lived for 32 years after 1976 under a largely Congress regime, long enough to write his autobiography, which the minister quoted from. Unlike poor Justice Loya, who's resting in peace long before his time.
Now, Judge Loya, who had died back in 2014, and the circumstances of his death were examined and settled by the Supreme Court. However, these remarks created a massive uproar, leading to 2 adjournments and ended in Union Minister Kiran Rijiju mourning Mamata Banerjee's MP of appropriate parliamentary action.
मैं सदन को इन्फॉर्म करना चाहता हूं, इस पे कार्रवाई होगा और हम लोग का तरफ से एप्रोप्रिएट पार्लियामेंट्री एक्शन लिया जाएगा। इस तरह का टिप्पणी आप बच नहीं सकते हैं, आप बच नहीं सकते हैं, ऐसे टिप्पणी करके बच नहीं सकते हैं। इस पे कार्रवाई होगा। ये बहुत गलत परंपरा साबित कर रही है वो।
Now let's talk about how the TMC MP has reacted on social media X, and in this post I quote, "All those reporting that Parliamentary Affairs Minister warned me, it is he who will be facing action for threatening me. His remarks are to be deleted, not mine," unquote. So here's what the Congress party has to say on this issue as far as disruptions in the House were witnessed after the reference was made.
चीजों को जानबूझ के जिसे कहा जाए कि बहुत आर्टिफिशियल तरीके से उसे प्रेजेंट करने का प्रयास किया गया, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं थी। लेकिन जिस प्रकार वहां पे सत्ता पक्ष के लोगों ने उसे कहा कि नहीं, महुआ मोइत्रा जी ने इन बातों का, जबकि वो कही नहीं थी, ऐसा कोई आशय नहीं था। लेकिन मैंने कहा कि जानबूझ के जहां भी अगर लगेगा सत्ता पक्ष के बारे उन्हें लगता उनके अनुकूल चीजें नहीं आ रही, तो इस प्रकार हाउस को, सदन को बाधित करते हैं। और इसलिए हमने कहा कि आज भले संविधान बचाने के बारे चर्चा की बातें आई, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं लगा कि उनके आचरण में कहीं से भी ऐसा लग रहा था लोकतंत्र या संविधान के प्रति वो गंभीर है।
Let's get in a word from Nyamika, who's joining us live right now. Nyamika, good morning. Of course, an important day in Parliament, but yesterday what happened today, as we talk about when it comes to the action that is likely to be initiated, because here the BJP is accusing Mahua Moitra of making insinuations about Judge Loya's death.
Well, that's absolutely right, as we have seen that yesterday during the speech within the Parliament, Mahua Moitra had made a remark which was related to Justice Loya's death, and for that reason
we have seen that how an objection was also being raised on the part of the BJP as well. In fact, an applause was also being seen on the by the presidency, and after that only the House had also got adjourned. And in fact, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju has also mentioned that how there will be a parliamentary action which is going to be taken against her regarding this entire matter, as Ms. Moitra had made a remark within the Parliament regarding the passing of Justice Lohia. As for that reason, the BJP had raised an objection, as she had basically made an allegation on the part of the BJP for alleged attempts to silence the institutions and the opposition leaders who are basically critical of the government. However, on the other side, we have also seen that how she had also responded to the statement which is now being given on the part of Mr. Kiren Rijiju, in which she has mentioned that he is basically openly threatening her, and for that reason she is also saying that if there will be any action that is going to be taken, then it will be against Mr. Kiren Rijiju for openly giving threats to her, and for that reason she has also made a tweet in this regard, in which he said that Kiren Rijiju openly threatened.
Well, the war of words that happened in the Parliament yesterday, we would want to play that out, especially when it comes to weeks of showdown and the ruckus and the adjournments that have been witnessed. Finally saw Lok Sabha a proper day when discussions and debates took place. Perhaps because it was the issue of the opposition's choice that was on the agenda, where they had demanded a debate on the constitution, with senior BJP leader Rajnath Singh, who initiated this two-day debate. And straight up, let's take a look how he took on the Congress, saying that the party could never tolerate independence and autonomy of institutions and has always tried to destroy the basic principles of the Constitution. The Defence Minister said that the contribution of several leaders in the making of the Constitution was deliberately ignored, and the particular party always tried to hijack and appropriate framing of the Constitution.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, पिछले कुछ वर्षों में देश में एक ऐसा माहौल बनाने का प्रयास किया गया है कि संविधान एक पार्टी की विशेष देन है। इन सभी बातों में डेप्थ एंड ब्रेथ मैं मानता हूं कि दोनों की कमी है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, संविधान निर्माण में बहुत से लोगों की भूमिका को जानबूझकर नकार दिया गया है, जबकि सच्चाई यह है कि हमारा संविधान हमारी सिविलाइजेशनल वैल्यूज यानी सभ्यता एवं सांस्कृतिक मूल्यों का एक एक्सप्रेशन है।
Now, after days of stalemate and constitution debate in the Lok Sabha, Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh, who initiated the debate, but we talk about who initiated on part of the opposition. It was the maiden speech of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, the newly elected MP from Wayanad. As far as her speech also was the spotlight that was shared on part of making the speech in the lower house, leading the charge for the opposition and of the Congress.
सच्चाई ये है अध्यक्ष महोदय कि आज संविधान 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 बार बार इसलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि इस चुनाव में इनको पता चल गया कि इस देश की जनता ही इस संविधान को सुरक्षित रखेगी, कि इस चुनाव में हारते हारते जीतने से इन्हें एहसास हुआ ये संविधान बदलने की बात इस देश में नहीं चलेगी।
All right, fiery debates that were witnessed yesterday, and we are standing by for today as well, as far as today's Lok Sabha second day of the Constitution debate and discussion will be taking place.